Hi guys, my name is Scotty. I've been working ground ops for a couple years and I've been a flight instructor for a couple years. Today I'm assisted with my friend Garrison. We're going to be talking about propylene glycol operations, commonly referred to just as glycol. So Garrison, glycol is commonly stored here in the shed. It's just a little bit of ways from the flight school. A couple canisters should get us through the winter time. Occasionally, depending on the need, we'll order a couple more, but glycol here, over by the fuel trucks, we have an actual glycol trailer. That's what we'll be storing, kind of what we use to spray, the airplanes down. But in the trailer, it's composed of about a 50-50 mixture of glycol and water. So they'll just bring the trailer over here, kind of depending on the need for the week. We'll just coordinate that with the ground ops coordinator. But when you're doing that, we'll just come in here, just make sure it's plugged in, and outside of that, really easy to operate. Once you just pull the handle out, you just flick this switch right here, and then you can pump it like gas.
Got it. So when do we use glycol?
We're going to use glycol when the temperatures kind of fall below 45, and we start seeing some frost on the wings. So we'll just bring the trailer out here, filled up with about halfway full of glycol. We'll find a hose in here, and right in behind the shed there's a little water spout. You just need like an Allen key to kind of hook it up with. But after that, you just fill it up with water, like the next half up. But when you're actually spraying down planes in the morning and stuff like that, try to use protection. Like right here, there's some rubber gloves. That way you don't really get it on you and stuff like that. It's not the end of the world if you get it on you. Just wash your clothes at the end of the day. As long as you're not ingesting it, you should be safe. For the most part, when you're spraying down planes, just one spray is all they want us to do. If the temperatures are below freezing and stuff like that, instructors are just going to have to wait for the sun to come up. But
got it. So it only removes frost. It doesn't remove ice or any snow.
Right. So we don't have any. It's just a 50-50 mixture. It's not heated or anything special like that. So it's just there to remove that base layer of frost. So when you're first getting out to the F-250, just verify the keys are either on the seat there or in the cup holder. If they're not in there, they should be in one of the key boxes inside the dispatch closet. But first things first, you want to start up the truck. If there's frost on the wings, that means there's going to be frost on the windshield there. So we'll let the truck warm up. It'll also help prolong its lifespan and stuff like that. But we do a quick equipment check as well. So just verifying there's a headlamp for you and the other dispatcher. It's going to be a little bit dark some mornings, so those will come in handy. We keep nitrile gloves in here, as well as if you open up the back door, there should be a ladder for when you're defrosting the Seminole. If any of that equipment's not in there, just reach out to a shift lead or coordinator and we'll replace it quick. But after that, we'll just take a quick walk around of the F-250 and make sure everything's in order. So we're checking the tires, making sure they're not flat. It's going to be the biggest thing for the truck and the trailer. It looks a little bit low, so they can always pump it up a little bit the night before. No big deal. This is where we keep our glycol. Some mornings it'll be a little bit dark, so it might be a little bit hard to verify the level of it, but it's just a twist-off cap. So once you open it, you can look inside to see how much glycol is in it. Same thing for this tire, just making sure it's not flat or coming off. Outside of that, just verifying that the actual trailer is attached. So there's a safety hook here, and there's a pin there, and then you can just give it a good whip and make sure it doesn't come off. Outside of that, for a quick walk around, up top we have our lights for when it's a little bit dark outside. Fuel for the actual fuel trucks. And inside here, just old tools, nothing to really worry about. Outside of that, it's pretty much the entire walk around of the truck. Do you have any questions? All right, now that we're in the F-250, we're gonna verify we still have all our equipment. So headlamp location, just verify there's 2 headlamps. We got extra night crawl gloves here. Ladder's still in the back. If the windshield is still frosted over, there's also a little scraper in the back for you. Outside of that, some little things, just make sure the light bar for behind the truck works. One weird thing with the F-250 is just the gear position is a little bit off. So right now, if you'll notice, we're in park, but it looks more like just next to reverse. So just keep that in mind, that everything is going to be just a little bit to the right of where you kind of want it to be. So if you want to shift it into drive, you're actually going to shift it more towards the 3. Yep. If you want to switch it to park, just go all the way back up. If you want to ever reverse, just verify that you have another dispatcher kind of guiding you around, making sure you're not going to jackknife or hit another airplane. For the most part, there shouldn't be a reason for you to reverse. Just go ahead and drive, back around and to the airplane that you're at. Alright, so some general rule of thumb for driving the F-250 is take turns super wide. Don't try to risk things. Always have another person either stand outside the truck or just back it up if you're doubtful about making a turn. When you're driving around the ramp, airplanes should have right of way. Drive slower than 10 miles an hour. Don't be on your phone. When you're trying to figure out who to defrost in the morning, try to go off the Flight Schedule Pro kind of schedule, so all the 7 a.m.s, all the 7:30s, 8 a.m.s, so on and so forth. If you have an instructor that's coming up to you, you can take that into consideration of who to go to next, but try to do it the most efficient way. That way everyone's getting out on time. But besides that, we can start Glycol. So we have gloves on, so we're good to go there. After that, you can just flick on the pump. Now we'll remove the hose, and we're going to take it all the way out past the wing here. Once you get to a certain point, you should hear it click, and just verify you have slack. That way you're not tripping or getting it caught on anything. So we're good to go there. After that, you could just spray down the wing. I like to do leading edge back to primary edge, and then leading edge to trailing edge, all the way down the wing root. There we go. So you can go ahead and demonstrate that. After that, we'll just do a quick spot check to make sure there's no frost along the many spots you may have missed. Sometimes the splash of just the Glycol will make it look like that area is covered. Obviously right now there is no frost in the wing, so on a normal day you will be taking a little bit longer to spray down the wing. But after that, if everything looks good, you can go ahead and move on to the other wing. So same thing again, front to back, and then just sweep all the way down to the root of the wing. Same thing again, we'll spot check the wing, make sure everything is good to go, and after that we can move to the tail. So I'll step behind here to grab the hose. Get this back to you. So have one dispatcher push down on the tail and the other dispatcher will spray. The person pushing down the tail, just make sure they look away. That way nothing splashes back in their face. Just being gentle about pushing the tail down, making sure it doesn't really smack the pavement. But I'll go ahead and push this down and you can go ahead and spray just like you would the wings. After that, I'll lift this back up and we can kind of go and wrap up. Let's see. All right, so when you're reeling it back in, you just got to be careful because once it goes really fast. So if you want to guide it in just like this, that works great. Sweet. Once we're done here, we're going to verify with the instructor that everything is to their liking. So if they have some discrepancies about if we missed a spot, we'll just go ahead and respray. Things we won't spray is going to be like the canopy or the engine cowling. That way we don't have anything dripping down into the engine and damaging anything. We can spray the fuselage if they like, but however it's not going to affect airworthiness if it's not sprayed down. Outside of that, you have any questions?
What if I'm walking up to the plane and I have glycol on my shoes, or there's glycol on the stepping part? Do I need to be careful of that?
Yeah, that's why it's important to have solid closed-toed shoes. I could be extra careful. Glycol will make things extra slippery, along with the frost because it's melting it. So just be extra cautious. Try not to purposely slip, but outside of that, as long as you have good situational awareness and stuff like that, you should be good to go.
Got it.
All right, so now we're going to be focusing this go at the Seminole tail, which will be a little bit different. So while you're getting the wings, I'm going to go ahead and set up the ladder for the tail. Sweet, now that the wings are done, we're gonna hit up the tail. I think it's pretty obvious when we go to push this one down. So while you're getting up there, just note, try to stop at the third step. You should be able to reach it from the third step. I'll hand this back to you. Just know as the day goes by, those steps will get a little bit slippery as you get glycol on your shoes or your boots. So just be smart. Don't run up the ladder. It's even smart for me to hold on to the ladder behind you, make sure you're good and secure. But spraying the tail is just like the DA40. So starting from the leading edge of the stapulator and go back. We'll go sipping motion across the whole stapulator. Get down. And wrapping up is just the same. So we'll bring the hose back and the ladder back and we should be done. So when you're done glycoling with the F250, just make sure the keys are either on the seat or in the cup holder. An easy spot for the next person to find. After that, we'll just verify that the glycol pump is off. Which it is. If you get any glycol on your hands or on your clothes, just make sure at the end of the day you wash your clothes, and I'd recommend immediately going and washing your hands after. Got it. Besides that, should be good to go.